Have you ever found yourself pausing, perhaps during a quiet moment, and wondering about the future? Not just tomorrow or next week, but further down the road, thinking about your health and the kind of care you might want, or perhaps not want, if you couldn't clearly express your preferences. It's a thought that crosses many minds, especially as we gather more life experience. It's not always the easiest subject to dwell on, is it? Thinking about a time when you might be seriously ill or unable to communicate your wishes regarding medical treatment can feel uncomfortable, even a little daunting. Many of us prefer to focus on the present, on enjoying today, and that's perfectly understandable. Life is for living, after all. Yet, there's a quiet strength, a profound sense of peace, that comes from knowing you've taken steps to ensure your voice can still be heard, even if you're unable to speak. It's about maintaining your dignity, your autonomy, your very sense of self, right to the end. Thinking about end-of-life care isn't about being morbid or pessimistic. Quite the opposite. It's about embracing life fully, including planning responsibly for all its stages. It's an act of profound love and consideration, not only for yourself, but also for the people you care about most, your spouse, your children, your cherished friends. Imagine the difficult position they might be in, faced with making heart-wrenching decisions about your medical care without knowing what you truly would have wanted. The uncertainty, the potential for disagreement, the guilt. It's a heavy burden to place on loved ones during an already stressful time. This isn't just a hypothetical worry. Many of us may have witnessed situations, perhaps with our own parents, relatives, or friends, where there was confusion or conflict because wishes weren't clearly documented. Perhaps a family member felt railroaded by medical professionals, or siblings disagreed passionately about the best course of action, all while their loved one lay unable to participate in the discussion. These experiences, while painful, often serve as powerful reminders of why planning ahead is so vital. It's about preventing that kind of anguish for your own family. It's about giving them the gift of clarity, the reassurance that they are honoring your deeply held values and desires. As we age, the possibility of facing serious illness or unexpected health events naturally increases. While we all hope for continued good health and vitality, wisdom includes acknowledging that life can be unpredictable. A sudden illness, an accident, or a gradual decline in cognitive ability could leave you unable to make or communicate your own healthcare choices. In those moments, who would speak for you? And more importantly, what would they say? Would their decisions align with what you would choose for yourself if you were able? These are the crucial questions that planning for end-of-life care helps to answer, definitively and clearly. This process is fundamentally about control, maintaining control over your own body and your medical journey, even in the face of serious illness. It's about ensuring that the treatments you receive align with your personal values, beliefs, and definition of quality of life. Perhaps you feel strongly about wanting all possible life-sustaining treatments, no matter the circumstances. Or perhaps you feel equally strongly that you would want to avoid certain interventions if the chances of recovery are slim, prioritizing comfort and peace instead. Maybe your faith plays a significant role in your decisions, or perhaps your past experiences with the medical system shape your views. There are no right or wrong answers, only your answers, your wishes. The goal is simply to make those wishes known in a way that carries legal and practical weight. Taking the time now, while you are able and thinking clearly, to consider these possibilities and document your preferences is one of the most empowering actions you can take. It transforms a potentially frightening unknown into a planned path, guided by your own hand. It allows you to reflect on what truly matters most to you. Is it longevity at all costs? Is it the ability to interact with loved ones? Is it freedom from pain? Is it maintaining consciousness? Understanding your own priorities is the first essential step. Over the next little while, we're going to explore this topic together, gently and thoroughly. We'll break down the practical steps you can take to ensure your end-of-life wishes regarding medical care are not just a fleeting thought, but are clearly understood, documented, and, most importantly, respected when the time comes. We won't shy away from the details, but we'll approach them with sensitivity and clarity. In our next chapter, we'll delve into the specific tools and documents available. Things like advanced directives, living wills, and appointing a healthcare proxy or power of attorney. We'll discuss what they are, how they work, what kind of decisions they cover, and how to go about creating them effectively. We'll also talk about the crucial conversations you need to have with your loved ones and your doctor. Think of this first chapter as setting the stage, acknowledging the importance and the emotional landscape of this conversation. We're laying the groundwork for taking concrete, positive action that brings peace of mind today and ensures your voice guides your care tomorrow. Now that we've acknowledged together why thinking about and planning for future healthcare decisions is so important, why it's an act of empowerment and love, let's move into the practical steps. How exactly do you translate your thoughts, values, and wishes into something tangible, something that healthcare professionals and your loved ones can understand and follow when you might not be able to express them yourself? Thankfully, there are well-established tools and processes designed specifically for this purpose. They generally fall under the umbrella term advanced directives, and while the specific names and forms can vary a bit from place to place, the core ideas are consistent. We're going to explore the most common and crucial components: the living will, the healthcare power of attorney, and the vital role of conversations. First, let's talk about the living will. You might also hear this referred to as a directive to physicians or declaration regarding life-sustaining treatments. Essentially, a living will is a written document where you state your preferences about specific types of medical treatments you would or would not want to receive if you are terminally ill, permanently unconscious, or in another specific end-of-life situation and unable to communicate your wishes. Think of it as your direct instructions for certain medical scenarios. What kinds of treatments does a living will typically address? It often covers major life-sustaining interventions. For example, you can specify your wishes regarding cardiopulmonary resuscitation, CPR. Would you want medical staff to attempt to restart your heart and breathing if they stop? You can express your preferences about mechanical ventilation, using a machine to help you breathe. You might outline your feelings about artificial nutrition and hydration, receiving food and water through tubes if you cannot eat or drink normally. Other treatments like dialysis, using a machine to filter your blood if your kidneys fail, the use of antibiotics for life-threatening infections, or even diagnostic tests can sometimes be addressed. Crucially, a living will is also where you can strongly emphasize your desire for comfort care or palliative care, focusing on managing pain and symptoms to ensure you are comfortable and maintain dignity, rather than pursuing aggressive treatments aimed at prolonging life at all costs. Why is having a living will so valuable? It provides concrete, specific guidance directly from you. When faced with difficult choices, doctors and family members don't have to guess what you would have wanted regarding these particular, often highly emotional, treatment decisions. It removes ambiguity. Imagine, for instance, someone who witnessed a parent linger for months on a ventilator with little hope of recovery. That experience might lead them to state clearly in their living will that they would not want prolonged mechanical ventilation under similar circumstances. If that situation unfortunately arises, their documented wish provides clear direction, easing the burden on their family and ensuring their preference is honored. However, it's important to understand the limitations. A living will typically only takes effect under the specific conditions outlined in the document and state law, like terminal illness or permanent unconsciousness. Furthermore, it's practically impossible to anticipate every single medical situation or technological advance that might occur. The language needs to be clear, but also general enough to apply to unforeseen circumstances. This is why a living will is powerful, but often not sufficient on its own. It works best in conjunction with our next key tool. This brings us to the Healthcare Power of Attorney, HPOA. This document might also be called a durable power of attorney for healthcare, a healthcare proxy, or a medical power of attorney. While the living will states what you want, the HPOA designates who you want to make healthcare decisions for you if you become unable to make them yourself, whether that inability is temporary or permanent. The person you appoint is often called your agent, proxy, or attorney in fact. This is arguably one of the most crucial parts of advanced care planning. Why? Because life and medicine are complex. Situations arise that your living will might not specifically cover. Medical conditions evolve, new treatment options emerge, and decisions often require nuanced judgment based on the immediate circumstances. Your chosen agent acts as your trusted advocate, empowered to make decisions on your behalf. Ideally, this is someone who knows you well, understands your values, your beliefs about quality of life, what brings you joy, and what you would consider unbearable suffering. They can interpret your wishes in light of the current medical reality, discuss options with doctors, and make choices that align with what they believe you would want. Choosing the right person as your agent is paramount. This isn't about picking your favorite relative. It's about selecting someone who is trustworthy and knows you well. They should understand your core values and how you approach life and health. Willing and able. They must agree to take on this significant responsibility and be capable of handling potentially stressful situations. Assertive. They need to be comfortable asking questions, challenging medical opinions if necessary, and advocating strongly for your wishes, even if others disagree. Level-headed. They should be able to make difficult decisions calmly during emotional times. Accessible. While geographic closeness isn't strictly mandatory in the age of phones, it can be helpful if they can be physically present when important decisions are being made. Comfortable discussing sensitive topics. You need to be able to have open conversations with them about your wishes beforehand. It's also wise to name one or even two alternate agents in the document, in case your primary choice is unable or unwilling to serve when needed. Your agent's role is to step into your shoes, using your living will and your conversations as a guide. If a situation arises that isn't covered, they should make the decision they believe you would make, based on their understanding of your values. They will have the authority to consent to or refuse treatments, hire or fire medical personnel, access your medical records, and make decisions about organ donation or autopsy if you've specified your wishes on those matters. Consider the example of a gentleman who deeply valued his cognitive function above all else. His living will didn't specifically mention a rare neurological complication he developed after surgery. However, his daughter, appointed as his agent via HPOA, knew him intimately. Understanding his core value, she worked with the doctors to choose a treatment path that minimized cognitive side effects, even if it wasn't the most aggressive option medically. Confident, she was honoring his true wishes. Now, having these documents, the living will and the HPOA, is essential, but they achieve their full potential only when combined with open conversations. Paperwork alone isn't enough. You need to talk to the people involved, primarily your chosen healthcare agent, but also your close family members and your doctor. These conversations bring the documents to life. They provide context, nuance, and emotional understanding that words on paper sometimes lack. Talking to your designated agent is non-negotiable. They need to understand why you've made certain choices in your living will. What experiences or beliefs informed those decisions? What does quality of life mean to you? What are your biggest fears regarding end-of-life care? What brings you comfort? Sharing your documents is just the start. Discussing the feelings and values behind them is what truly prepares your agent to act confidently on your behalf. Let them ask questions, express any concerns they might have, and make sure they genuinely accept the role. It's also highly recommended to talk with other close family members. While your agent holds the legal authority, involving others can prevent future misunderstandings or conflicts. Explaining your wishes and your reasoning directly can help everyone feel informed and respected, even if they might personally choose differently. Frame these conversations as an act of love and planning, designed to ease their burden later. Choose a calm, private time. Acknowledge it might be uncomfortable, but emphasize its importance. It might take several discussions over time, and that's perfectly okay. Don't forget your doctor. Your primary care physician should be aware of your advance directives and ideally have copies in your medical record. Discuss your values and wishes with them. They can help you understand the medical implications of your choices and ensure your documents align with your health status. A doctor who understands your goals of care is better equipped to guide treatment discussions, whether with you directly or with your agent later on. Finally, it's worth briefly mentioning two other related concepts you might encounter, especially if you are already dealing with a serious illness. Do not resuscitate and DNR orders and physician orders for life-sustaining treatment, POLST forms, sometimes called MOST or MOLST. A DNR order is a specific medical order signed by a doctor, instructing healthcare providers not to perform CPR. This is typically put in place when someone is seriously ill and has decided, or their agent has decided based on their wishes, that they do not want resuscitation attempts. A POLST form is more comprehensive. It's also a medical order, usually printed on brightly colored paper, that translates your wishes regarding CPR, mechanical ventilation, artificial nutrition, and desired level of intervention, e.g., comfort care only, limited interventions, or full treatment, into actionable instructions for emergency personnel and other providers. POLST forms are generally intended for individuals with serious, life-limiting conditions and travel with you across different care settings. These orders complement your advance directives by providing immediate, actionable instructions for medical staff, whereas your living will and HPOA provide broader guidance and appoint your decision-maker. Creating a living will, appointing a healthcare power of attorney, and having thorough conversations with your agent, family, and doctor. These are the core components of ensuring your end-of-life medical wishes are known and respected. Each piece reinforces the others, creating a strong framework that safeguards your autonomy and provides invaluable peace of mind for both you and your loved ones. Remember to ensure your documents are completed according to your state's specific legal requirements, which usually involve signing in front of witnesses or a notary, and review them periodically, especially if your health changes or your feelings about treatment evolve. This isn't a one-time task, but an ongoing reflection of your values and desires for your own care. So, we've journeyed together through what can feel like a sensitive, yet profoundly important territory. Ensuring your wishes for medical care are clearly known and genuinely respected, especially during times when you might be unable to voice them yourself. We started by acknowledging that quiet, perhaps even slightly uncomfortable question that arises. What happens if? We recognize that planning for future healthcare isn't about dwelling on the negative, but rather about embracing life fully, responsibly, and with foresight. It's about ensuring your voice, your values, and your definition of a meaningful life remains central to your care, always. It's an act of profound self-respect and a deep gesture of love towards those who might one day need to make decisions on your behalf. In our exploration, we delved into the essential tools that help you achieve this clarity and control. We talked about the living will, that crucial document where you articulate your specific desires regarding life-sustaining treatments like CPR, mechanical ventilation, or artificial nutrition and hydration, should you find yourself in specific end-of-life circumstances, unable to communicate. This is your direct instruction manual, outlining what interventions align with your values and what you would prefer to forego, perhaps prioritizing comfort and peace. It provides concrete guidance, removing the heavy burden of guesswork from your loved ones and medical team regarding these specific, often emotionally charged choices. We then discussed the immense importance of appointing a healthcare power of attorney, your chosen agent, proxy, or advocate. This is the person you entrust to make healthcare decisions for you when you cannot, covering situations perhaps not explicitly detailed in your living will, or requiring nuanced judgment based on unforeseen circumstances. We stressed the significance of choosing this person carefully, someone trustworthy, who understands your values deeply, is willing and able to take on the role, can communicate assertively yet compassionately, and with whom you can have honest conversations. This person becomes your voice, your advocate, ensuring decisions made reflect what you would want. Remember, naming alternates is also a wise step. Crucially, we emphasized that these legal documents, while vital, are most effective when brought to life through open and honest conversations. Talking candidly with your chosen agent is paramount. They need to understand not just what your wishes are, but why. The values, beliefs, and experiences that shape your perspective on quality of life, suffering, and medical intervention. Sharing your thoughts and feelings provides the context they need to act confidently and authentically on your behalf. Similarly, discussing your plans with close family members can foster understanding, prevent future conflicts, and reassure everyone that you have considered these matters carefully. And let's not forget the importance of involving your doctor, ensuring they understand your goals of care and have copies of your directives in your medical records. We also briefly touched upon specific medical orders like DNRs and POLAST forms, which serve as actionable instructions for healthcare providers in more immediate or specific situations, often complementing your broader advance directives. Taking these steps, creating a living will, appointing a healthcare power of attorney, and engaging in meaningful conversations is truly an act of empowerment. It transforms uncertainty and potential fear into a sense of preparedness and peace. Think about the feeling of relief that comes with knowing you've done everything possible to ensure your journey aligns with your deepest values. You are taking control of what you can control, providing clear guidance for situations that might otherwise be fraught with confusion, anguish, and potential disagreement among those who care for you most. This planning is not a static event. It's a process. Your feelings might evolve over time. Your health situation might change, or medical advancements might present new options. It's wise to revisit your documents and conversations periodically, perhaps every few years, or after a significant life event or health change, to ensure they still accurately reflect your wishes. Knowing that you can update these documents provides flexibility and reassurance. Making these arrangements isn't about giving up hope for a long and healthy future. Far from it. It's about cherishing your autonomy, your dignity, and your relationships so much that you take proactive steps to protect them, come what may. It's about ensuring that even if you lose the ability to speak for yourself, your essence, your values, your priorities, your definition of a life well lived, continues to guide the decisions made about your body and your care. You are essentially writing a crucial part of your life story, ensuring the final chapters unfold according to your own narrative. Imagine the comfort this brings not just to you, but to your loved ones. You are lifting a potential future weight from their shoulders, the weight of uncertainty, the potential for guilt over making the wrong choice, the possibility of family friction during an already emotional time. Instead, you give them the gift of clarity, the confidence that they are honoring your true desires, allowing them to focus their energy on providing comfort and support, secure in the knowledge they are fulfilling your wishes. It's a final, powerful expression of care for them. So, as we conclude this discussion, I hope you feel encouraged and empowered, not burdened. Approaching end-of-life planning is a sign of strength, wisdom, and profound love. It's about embracing your right to self-determination throughout your entire life. It's about ensuring that the respect and dignity you deserve are upheld in every circumstance. By considering these matters thoughtfully, documenting your wishes clearly, and communicating openly, you secure a legacy of care that reflects who you are and what you hold dear. Take the time you need. Approach it step by step, and know that by doing so, you are securing invaluable peace of mind for yourself and providing a lasting gift of clarity and love for your family. You are ensuring that your voice will always be heard,